I wanted to be in production. There really wasn't any courses. There was no Google. There was sort of very little out there. So I did an arts degree, and then I moved to Los Angeles after I got my degree, and eventually got an opportunity to work for a week on a show for Nickelodeon. And then the person who coordinated that show, they called me for a bigger job then. That came in a couple of months down the line. And then that job, that was a 2-month job that turned into 3 years. The support back here for animation is unbelievable. You know, there's such a strong group with Animation Ireland, and now the National Talent Academy that I'm running, and all the studios. So it was really, really great to get that kind of support in an area where I actually had no idea about animation. If your show starts with an idea, and if you're working with someone to develop that idea into something that comes off paper onto screen, there's a huge amount of development. It could be anything from a year. A year would be really good if something was in production within a year of development, to like 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you know. So there's all that stuff that's usually, for the most part, unpaid work that goes on behind the scenes before you actually get to the point where you can make the show. So that would be one part. And then when you fund it, you know, then you get all your little pieces together, and then you go into production. And then once it's produced, then you're selling it. But like, you're already thinking about where you're selling it before you start, you know. And then also, while you're doing that, you do need to be thinking about your next project because it takes so long. All I ever wanted to see was my name as a producer on screen. The first time that happened, that was really, really cool, because I was in my mid-30s by the time that happened, so I had already been like 15 years, you know, working, and you know, so that was amazing to see that on screen. Yeah, just getting to work with all the creative talent. Like, there's so many nice people in the industry. It's such a lovely group of people. And I do like knowing, I've no idea what I'll be doing this time next year. And getting to see an idea that was just maybe 2 or 3 lines on paper, and then suddenly getting to see it on screen as a series with fully developed characters and stories, and you know, that all of that is fun. I went to LA because, as far as I saw at the time, there was no other choice. Whereas now there's so many options. All the studios, you know, have to now, as part of getting tax credits, you have to be able to have a certain amount of trainees on your project. And I know it can be difficult before you get in. Everything seems catch-22. You know, you have to have experience, but you know, you just have to be looking at what's out there, what shows are being made. Animation Ireland's website always has the new shows going into production. You got to be aware of what's going on, and that information is there, you know. You can't just sit at home and hope that someone's going to knock on the door. Screen Ireland, which they were called the Irish Film Board at the time, gave me money to make a feature film. So then, very, very first day of production was like 6 a.m. just near Sheriff Street. We were shooting the whole movie around that area. I just remember being there at 6 a.m. going, Jesus Christ, I hope this all goes okay, you know. And the interesting thing about that movie is we discovered Barry Keoghan, Hollywood superstar Barry, and he still refers to Between the Canals was the name of that. And in interviews all the time, he says that's what started him off in film.